Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Thorne with HireMilitary. Glad to be here with you again on Thursday afternoon to talk about your career and transition success from the military, talking about options organizations, programs that are going to set you up for success. And I am actually amazingly thrilled to be able to use this opportunity today to bring you some of the HireMilitary team that you may not have met yet. So the HireMilitary team is comprised of a whole bunch of men and women who are working every day to make opportunities for you with companies out there. And so we've got some of the members of that team here today. Some of them you may have met, some of them you might not, and they're going to tell you a little about themselves. But what's really exciting to me is they're going to talk about opportunities that they have available for you right now today to connect for DoDSkillbridge in all kinds of different locations and industries and things around the nation. So with that said, hey, thanks everyone for joining me here today. I'm going to go around just ask each of you to give just a little bit of background on yourself for those who may not know you. So Sarah, let's go ahead and start with you. Sarah Thompson is one of our favorite account managers. She's out there in the Savannah, Georgia area, but working with service members all around. Good to see you, Sarah.
Oh, yes, it's great to be here. So I started my career in the Army, went through ROTC and was a commissioned officer for a few years in the Adjutant General Corps, so personnel, if anybody's familiar with the Army, and started raising a family after that. And my husband was active duty Navy, so we traveled and spent a lot of time at Whidbey Island Naval Air Station in beautiful Washington State, and had 4 kids while we were there. And as many women do, I juggled, and I had a home-based business with a wonderful American company for many years in sales and directing sales. And I've stood alongside my husband doing many things, and currently I'm involved in HireMilitary, supporting service members, everybody else here, and just to really find a lot of joy in walking with people through those critical, about 1 to 2 years. And I love sharing tips. There are so many wonderful American companies who really want this talent. So I'm just delighted to work alongside these wonderful people and to add value where I can.
Love it. And we love having you. Thank you so much for your service. And, you know, it's really, I think for everyone who's watching, one of the things that Sarah can really talk about is her experience as a veteran who lived the transition process herself, but also from that military spouse and really doing those PCS moves with the military family and all that. So I love that and I appreciate it. So Adam Martinez is on our team up in the Metro Washington, D.C. area and does some great things. Adam, welcome today.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Hey, everybody, and thanks, team, for having me on today. Adam Martinez, I'm the account manager up here in the Northeast area. I'm a 20-year Army retiree, Armor by trade, Army, Master Sergeant, retired. Did 20 years, retired here in DC area. My last 3 years of service, I was at the Pentagon at the Army Soldier for Life program, which really got me involved in the transition of military service and trying to gather up the resources and services that are needed for the transitioning family. So that really got me involved more into the services that we're offering today. And so I'm a contractor by day, but I really love giving back to the services with HireMilitary and with the things that we do here. With what we're doing today. So I'm really glad to be on the call today.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're part of the team, Adam. And by the way, you know, Adam mentioned that he's in the Northeast, but I want to emphasize, just so anyone watching knows, our entire team works nationally, globally, really. So yeah. Any member of our team can help you no matter where you're at or where you're looking for. So we don't make you have to be close to somebody to get opportunity from them. So glad to have you. And then, you know, going back down south down there, one of our favorites who, if you are looking for some industrial, for some great jobs and SkillBridge opportunity, he's the right man to talk to. So Eric Huff, glad to have you here with us today. Oh, we got you muted there, Eric.
Little about me, Chris, is I am retired in January of 2017 after 30 years in the Army, primarily in the AGR system. As Chris stated, I'm actually located in central Louisiana, about an hour from Fort Polk, and actually about an hour from where I'm originally from. When I first got transitioned out, I went to work for Halliburton as a drilling fluid engineer and had been working with them from 17 until, if you keep up the fallout of the oil and gas industry in February. But prior to that, in January of 19, I started working with HireMilitary. It gave me a chance to stay connected and to help soldiers, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. As he stated, I have industrial positions. Serve Pro, over 22 franchises of Serve Pro, primarily in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Texas, North Louisiana, and South Carolina. Also have Mobot in addition, and some other companies as well.
Well, I know we look forward to hearing about some of those out there. There's already some questions going in the chat asking about some things that I think maybe you might line up with when we talk about some of those specific roles. So I'm glad to have you there, Eric. So, if you are up in the Pacific Northwest, especially around the JBLM area, I know this next person is somebody that you've seen, heard, or talked to or connected with. And so really proud to have a strong member of our team, Jason Willett, here with us today. Jason, great to see you.
Hey, Chris, thanks. And really great to see everybody on the team together. So just a little bit about me. I retired the end of 2018 last year. Did just about 27 years. Came up as a logistics soldier, but for the greater part of the last 7-8 years, I was a command sergeant major and made it to the level of the nominative command sergeant major. And that's pretty much the executive level of the Army. So it really... I got to that level and I realized I just didn't like the politics. It seems like there was more focus on politics versus actually taking care of soldiers and making organizations better. You take that and you couple it with moving 6 times in 8 years. And I said, well, it's probably time to do something else, to enjoy life and spend time with the family a little bit. So I'm not originally from Washington State, but we were stationed here back in 2013. So we decided to move back out here. And I was listening to initially, when I first came out on transition leave, I was listening to all my buddies saying, hey, man, you got to take a break, take a break. I was all in. I was going to take a break. I came out here, ready to take a break. 2 weeks later, I was pulling my hair out, drove me crazy. I actually was signed on with HireMilitary at the time in the late 2018, but the company was such in infant stages. We just didn't have a whole lot really to do at the time. The infrastructure we were still building out. So I took a job with state. Which was a great job, and I really was excited about the opportunity. Did that a few months. I was absolutely miserable because I didn't do a whole lot of planning. I just took a job because I was bored. And so I ended up ultimately walking away from it, and just happened to be when I walked away from it last year, the HireMilitary infrastructure had been built out, and I was able to really kind of, get a little bit more active on the HireMilitary side and on the LinkedIn side. And, that's kind of what I do with my days now, is that I'm actually able to do something I enjoy, which is coaching, teaching, and mentoring service members. But I just don't have the uniform on anymore. So really excited to be part of the team. And I know we're doing some great things for service members.
Awesome. And, you just mentioned something, Jason, which hopefully everyone understands. Everyone on this screen right now is actively, whether you are actually placing into a DoDSkillbridge program through HireMilitary, or whether you're just looking for some good advice, some networks, some connection building, professional relationships to help you in your transition and understanding this whole thing. Everyone on the screen right now is here for you to help you in that, but maybe none stronger in that than the last one introduced today, who I know most everyone here has seen doing all of his broadcasts, where he really has a great time emphasizing service members as well as military spouses. But what many of you don't know is Matt also works to help place service members directly into those internships. So Matt Quick, great to have you here.
Chris, it's a great thing to be here, and team, I'm always being here. This is a different I'm just answering questions now instead of host answer questions. This is nice. So about me, I spent 25 years in the military, not that much time. I decided to retire. My wife said it's done, so we quit. So that was it for that. And now, in my last 15 years, I work retention in the military, but now we're transitioning service members. I love this. Just talking to soldiers every day, talking to people every day about their transition, encouraging the transition, do it smartly. I don't have a host of companies to work with, but listen, I love talking to service members And if I can ever be a resource to anybody, making a phone call to the command, explaining the DoDSkillbridge program, twisting some arms, whatever I got to do, I'm there for you. So, hey, reach out to any of us. We're here to help you guys out. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome, spectacular. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in, and for everyone who's with us today, we're going to stick strictly to a 30-minute format today because the platform after 30 minutes is going to be yielded to Mike Quinn, who's going to be on his page with the broadcast you all want to join in. But we're going to hold to that 30 minutes today. So I'm going to jump right back over to you, Sarah. People want to know, okay, let's talk what SkillBridge opportunities, what kinds of companies, what kind of positions, what kind of locations are available that you can help put them into today and connect them for. What do you got that you can tell people about today, Sarah?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I'll start with the company that has been the most eager to add SkillBridge interns. They are the future of their company staffing, and they are utilizing them all over their corporation in a very creative and agile way. That's Workforce Insight, of course. So Workforce Insight is based formally out of Denver, but they have a completely remote workforce. Their CEO is actually in Cincinnati. So he's a West Point grad, and he really knows the value of the military transitioning service member. So the main position they start everybody with is, it's a 12-week internship, and it's called Software Solutions Consultant. And the goal of that program is to create people who can do strategic services and technical solutions. And it's a wonderful baseline. They bring in people from all branches and all ranks who want to have a remote job and good pay and flexibility. Of course, lifestyle factors. They get to go into corporations that have paid for the Kronos more like a human resources strategic management software. And they go to add value there and work with teams and project managers. And it's been so wonderful seeing how they've moved people around. Once they get to know the service member, they sign the mentors. It's just a really well done program, and they keep getting better and better. They're just about to start their fourth quarter, so their fourth group. The other company I'm working with is called Maiden Space Inc., and they're in Jacksonville, Florida, and they're building stuff for the space station and other payload projects. And they just brought in 2 mechanical technicians, and they're bringing in another one right now. So if you're a machinist mate, aviation machinist mate, you like to work with your hands and design cool stuff, work with engineers, I really recommend you reach out to me, and we can put in your resume for another to join the other mechanical technicians with Maiden Space. And then, of course, Workforce Insight, they're just about to bring in their Q4 group on Monday, but we'll be interviewing for the Q1 group in, I would say, probably late October is when we're going to start interviewing for that Q1 group that'll start right after the new year. So my other account is here in Savannah. There's somebody looking for wheel mechanic to maintain a fleet of heavy vehicles. So if you want to come to Savannah, if you live in Savannah, if you're at Hunter or Fort Stewart, please reach out to me. I'd love to speak to you and introduce you to a wonderful family company.
Awesome, spectacular. So, and for that Savannah, hey, they could be here in San Diego, where I happen to be at. But if they want to come home to Savannah, they could be right for you. And so, Workforce Insight, 100% remote, so they could do it anywhere in the nation. And really, the qualification is just the qualification for that is good administrative skills, attention to detail, and a desire to be part of a team that helps others teach, learn, grow to support the product. Is that about right?
Yes, and some technical experience, some real competence with software and computers is also wonderful too. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we're not talking computer programmers, but I mean, familiarity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not like a cybersecurity coding type thing. It's just familiarity with using computers. So 100% remote for that. Jacksonville, Florida for Maiden Space for mechanical engineering and production and design down there. And then, of course, Savannah, Georgia for some great opportunity there. So I appreciate it. And I know there's more. And thank you, Sarah, for all you're doing. Adam, I'm going to kick it right over to you. And I'd love to hear about some of the opportunities you've got for everyone right now.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. So the biggest ones that we're really excited about to try to push out today is Bartlett Engineering and Signaling Laboratories. So we're really trying to find the next cybersecurity and IT professionals that are out there with security clearances and security plus certifications. Vessel's really looking for their next set of engineers to help them push. They're a small business, but they're always looking for their next set of engineers. So if there's anybody out there with just those simple qualifications of a secret to top secret clearance and with the security plus certification, we'll start with those two things. But if you have more, which majority of our service members in those fields in cyber, they generally have a lot more of those certifications in the cyber field. So if we have anyone in those kind of classes, that Vessel's kind of looking for you. So that's Barnett Engineering and Signal Laboratories, looking for engineers. And then that's one. And then Teamwork Security, we're looking for intelligence analysts. And they're in Maryland. I'm sorry, we'll go back to Vessel. Vessel's located in Colorado, over in Colorado Springs. They can work remotely, but majority of the work is in Colorado Springs. But that's a conversation between Vessel and the candidate, depending on the work. So it all depends on the job and how it's broke down based on the internship. Now we'll move over to Teamwork. Teamwork Security is based out of Columbia, Maryland. They're looking for Intel analysts. This position is coming up, but they're looking for the analysts now. Very simple. They're looking for also Security Plus, and this is just a simple analyst. So basically a secret clearance and some analyst experience. So and this one's in Maryland. This is actually brick and mortar, so they have to be able to work in Maryland with a secret or higher clearance for that. And then I also have a call with M9 Solutions. I'm really excited about that one for tomorrow. So looking forward to that. That one's going to be more of an HR and recruiting. So buckle your seatbelts, that folks, because we're looking for HR and recruiters in the future for that one. So if you have an HR recruiting background, looking forward to that as well. So keep plugging away at registrations because we're looking for you soon for M9 Solutions. So
looking forward to seeing that one. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that one. I mean, HR and recruiting, I know there's a huge population out there looking for those. So I have a feeling M9 is going to be flooded, and we're excited to see that coming in. By the way, I know Matt is sharing some connections right now in the conversation about the companies. As we're talking, make sure if you want to talk Workforce Insight, if you want to talk Made in Space, or you want to go to Savannah, make sure you connect with Sarah. She's tagged in here. If you want to talk about Teamworks or in Maryland, or Barnett Engineering up in Colorado, or M9 Solution with Human Resources Recruiting, make sure you reach out, connect with Adam, and get a lot more information on that. But I know there's a lot more exciting ones that I'm about to hear from Eric, and I love these. So I'm gonna before I let Eric say, I'm gonna say, if you're out there and you're a transitioning service member and you're a leader, you know what he's about to share with you may not be right for you, but what I want you to think about is those young service members that are working for you who may not be here with us on LinkedIn, even though they should be. They may not be here, and they need to hear about these opportunities. And you know what? Some of these opportunities might be right for you as well. So Eric, take it away.
There's a couple of companies I want to primarily focus on. One is Mobot. Mobot, the way I would best explain it, is kind of like a Roomba for your yard. And it's basically a hands-free residential lawn care. And we have a position right now available in Frisco, Texas. So if you have anybody that that's wanting to relocate to Texas or close to Frisco, we have an opportunity right now. Another thing I want to talk about is ServPro. If you're looking at operations experience or wanting to get in operations, I have positions open for operations managers, production managers, crew chief, and even techs. So a lot of these positions are located in places like Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, West Texas, and North Louisiana. We're talking about places.
I apologize, Eric. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to ask you to say those locations again. We got a little garbled, and I think those locations are real important. So I apologize. Could you hit on those locations?
Places like Kingston or Hershey, Bordentown, Warminster, Kenneth Square, Pennsylvania, Mount Pleasant and Greenville, South Carolina, Shreveport, Louisiana, West Texas. I mean, these are positions that, and a lot of these, the good thing about these ServPro positions, if you're looking for an internship, that's going to probably result in a paid position with an opportunity to work up. I think these are the positions you're looking at. And even an opportunity down the road to own your own franchise. So you're looking for something that you can work into that more than likely when you finish that internship, you're going to get a full-time paid position. This is who you need to look at. There's another company out here, and I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I'm just going to tell you, we've got positions in Ottawa, Iowa for a welder, arc welder, Waterloo, Iowa for electrical machine maintenance, and in Horicon, Wisconsin for a mechanical maintenance position. Look, if you haven't registered with HireMilitary, if you want to know more about these positions, they're on our platform. So if you haven't registered, register now and look at these positions that we have, and they may be something that you're fit for.
Nice. So you've got a little bit of something all across the map there. You know, I love that you mentioned the upper Midwest and those opportunities in Iowa and Wisconsin out there. And, you know, the thing so often I think when we talk about DoDSkillbridge, we tend to think of them only for senior leadership management type positions. And we forget that there are good jobs, solid paying opportunities for people who want to work with their hands, be out there manufacturing, doing things, and those are great roles. And by the way, if you're watching something, if you haven't picked up on it yet, the programs we work with at HireMilitary are all pipeline to the opportunity to be hired into a job. So it's not a program to go and just become familiarized with the company. Companies want to create opportunities for specific roles and jobs for you to then be hired into the company. So it really makes for a great pathway. So thanks for doing it, Eric. I appreciate it. And if you want more information on some of those opportunities for yourself or for one of your service members you're leading or mentoring, make sure you connect with Eric. So I'm going to kick it on over now, back over to the Pacific Northwest with Jason, because I know you've got just a number of great ones to talk about. So I'm curious to hear.
Yes, Chris, I appreciate it. So, you know, I manage a variety of opportunities, but I'm going to break down four sectors that I want to highlight today. First up, IT cyber. We have two great partners, Splunk and CrowdStrike, that have opportunities nationwide and remote. We have picked up quite a bit on the remote side with the COVID. So those are some great opportunities out there. The next sector I'd like to highlight is aviation maintenance. We're partnered with Aurora Flight Sciences, which is a sub-Boeing company. They have some opportunities on the East Coast and Mississippi. And then the next sector is on the Intel side of the house. We're partnered with Oakley Simpson Security. They do Intel in the greater DC area. They're a big player in that area. And then the last sector I'll talk about is construction, where we're partnered with satellite containers industries. And there's opportunities right now in Texas and North Carolina with those. And I'll just close out with this too, Chris, just to kind of highlight one of the things you talked about. We spend a lot of time just coaching, teaching, and mentoring and helping service members aside from this. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to me out there. And if you're an in-person type person, we are a nationwide organization, but every Monday from 12 to 1300, I'm over there at Hawk Career Center on JBLM. So come by and see me. Appreciate it, Chris.
Appreciate everything that you're doing and the fact that you're there on Hawk talking with folks in person. I'm actually jealous. I wish I could be doing the same thing. I know we all look forward to that hopefully soon. So Matt, I know we don't have a whole bunch of companies that you're directly managing opportunities. You got a little bit that you do have, but I know you've also been monitoring the chat with some of the questions that are out there. So I'd love to hear some of the thoughts you've got on positions, opportunities, and what's going on the chat there, Matt.
Thanks, Chris. My focus is hopefully getting service members into internships. So really that the first step is to get the approval from the command. That's my focus right now. So just some tips. If you want to get a DoDSkillbridge internship opportunity, start early with your command. Tell them what you want to do. Tell them you want to do an internship. And then educate yourself on the program. Give the HireMilitary team. We're more than happy to have a conversation, whether it's Zoom, in person, on the phone call. We'll text you. We don't care. Just have the conversation. We'll educate you. Build your bench. So let the command know you want to leave for 4 to 6 months at the end of your career. Make sure your bench is built, your replacement's there, whether it's formally there or it's someone that's going to fill in momentarily. Build that bench. Educate your peers, educate your leadership on what DoDSkillbridge is, and finally, put that request in writing. Your command team, they can always say no. Your first sergeant not authorized to say no. Command sergeant major not authorized to say no. CMC not authorized to say no. Your commander can say no, but put it in writing. They'll say no, but they'll have to actually do the research with you if you provide information. And if you actually talk to them and just tell them your intentions, you're more likely to get a yes than a no. Just educate them. But Chris, some of the questions we have right now are what's available, and are they available here and there? Just from a show of hands from the account managers, how many of us have remote roles that can go anywhere? Hey, if that opportunity is not in your area, not your specific area, there's remote roles. Now, as a caveat, if the opportunity is not in your area, reach out to us. Tell us where you want to work, where you want an internship with. We can partner with a company to have a conversation with Chris. He tells them this is how you do it. Have the conversation. Reach out. We're a growing company. We partner with a lot of companies, and we're excited. So, Chris, I'll keep watching the chat, but ask your questions. We have a few more minutes.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And you know what? You hit on an important point. So please understand, everyone.
Real fast. Someone made a point here. Jason S.
I was going to bring that one up. You go right on ahead.
Jason S. says, we need a Marine in this panel. Jason S., I'm a Marine. I got my foundation from Parris Island, South Carolina, and 4 years in the Marine Corps. I needed that. There's a Marine in this panel. And Chris? Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, well, you know, and this, Jason, this is the part where I give Matt a little bit of grief. I might be Navy, but just for those of you who don't know my background, I was a Navy corpsman by trade. I spent 19 of my 30 years in the Navy with the Marine Corps. So I'm not a Marine, but I think I've had at least a little time around the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor to be able to have that conversation.
Honorary Marine, Chris.
So, you know, what I want everyone to know, though, is, you know, these are some conversations about some specific opportunities, but it's not everything that we have right now. You know, we didn't even get into our entire life sciences section, where we've got great opportunities with some of the Fortune 100 leading biopharmaceutical companies in the world, companies like Bristol Myers Squibb, like Emergent Biosolutions, like, here's one that you don't even know about yet because we haven't told you, but GlaxoSmithKline. If you're into life sciences, biopharmaceutical, these are exciting opportunities. And there's a ton of others, but you got to have a conversation with some folks here at HireMilitary to find out. And, you know, something else Matt mentioned, I call it the bring your own internship, because a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, you don't have anything for me. Hey, you know what? If where you want to be, literally just finished putting together an internship for a transitioning service member going to Moscow, Idaho. I had to make sure it was Moscow, Idaho, not Moscow somewhere else.
Good catch.
That service, yeah, I know. That service member wanted to go to Moscow, Idaho, and they had a company back in Moscow they wanted to connect with. And so we connected, we put that together, and that service member's getting ready now to start their DoDSkillbridge in the location they wanted to be with a company that they chose and that we're able to make happen for them. And so we're happy to make those things happen for you. Let us help set you up for success. And at the end of the day, if we can't connect you with your opportunity, you know what? We're going to help find somebody who can, or we're going to help connect you, network you, put you, because there are other great programs out there, and we encourage everyone, use every resource, every opportunity you got. So, all right, I got just another minute. I'm going to ask everyone to give a really quick 30 seconds before we jump off of here. So, Sarah, any last parting 30-second thoughts for you?
Oh, absolutely. So searching goes actually three ways. It's the service member looking for the opportunities. It's the company looking for people in the database. They do have access, but they tend to be very busy. And then there's third, the account manager looking for who has the right keywords, who has the right talent, who has the best resumes, who has the best summary. I cannot emphasize enough that you need to put a little time into making sure your summary is really good with the keywords that even say what you've done in your personal study time. If you've done some Udemy classes, you've done some CAD, if you've done some 3D printing, if you've done anything on the side, you know, include that. help us to get to know you so we don't miss you when we're looking and scrubbing the HireMilitary database. So take some time and make that wonderful. Yeah.
Such a good point, and I'm so glad you brought that up, Sarah. Thank you. Adam, I'm going to jump to you and let you give a 30, and I know you're going to have to disconnect and drop off screen as soon as you wrap up, so go ahead, Adam.
Just real quick, just be patient when you're registering on HireMilitary. I know there's a lot of you that register on the site with the amount of jobs on there don't match the amount of registrants that are in there. So if you don't feel like you're getting contacted, you don't feel like your resume is being looked at, just be patient, because there are a lot of things, a lot of variables in there that happen. And it's the reason why you feel like that, why am I not getting contacted? There's a lot of things in there. If you're logistics, we may not have a logistics position in the internship database. You know, if it's HR, we just don't have
We'll keep on looking.
Be patient. We're building it out. So just be patient with it.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And like Sarah said, make sure you put enough information in there to do. Adam, I know you're going to drop off because you had a scheduled follow-up, and I appreciate you being here, brother. I'm going to finish up with everyone else, but I hope you have a great day, brother. So, Eric.
Thank you, everybody.
Eric, I'm going to kick it over to you. We're cutting in on a Mike's time, so I'm going to throw another 30-second wrap up your way there.
Real quick, one of the things that I notice, a lot of people reach out to me for internships where we actually don't have an agreement with a company so far. If you're wanting to go somewhere and you know there's a company out there, get us the information. We'll do the groundwork and we'll work to get you that internship if there's not one out there for you. So help us help you is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Appreciate that thought. Absolutely. Jason, coming over to you, my brother.
Yeah, Chris, hey, our philosophy is simple. We simply want to create or find as many opportunities for transition and service members as possible. So reach out to us. If we can help you with HireMilitary, great. If we can't help you with HireMilitary, we'll do our best to point you in the right direction to someone that can assist. So I really appreciate this session. It was great seeing the team on today.
Good seeing you too. Thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate all you do, Jason. Matt, last words from your end of the spectrum here.
I'm going to give my last words to Brandon Dixon. He asked a question, are these only for internships or full-time employment? Brandon, these internships turn into full-time employment, and we also have a HireMilitary jobs platform that leads to employment after service too. So get in the platform, get involved, let us know who you want to work with, and we make things happen. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. And so, hey, just as a wrap up, I do want to clarify for those who've been watching who may not know, we're talking about DoDSkillbridge program. And DoDSkillbridge is a transition support program for those who are about to leave the military service within their last 6 months. So these internships are specific for those people before they leave military service, but we're here to communicate, help, and connect and network with veterans and create opportunities in any way we can. So reach out to any of the folks here or anyone else on the HireMilitary team, and we're happy to help. So I'm going to say thank you to all of you. I appreciate all that you do every day. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. And thank all of you who are viewing, whether you're watching us live right now and participating in the conversation, whether you're watching later on. If you're over on the channels on either YouTube or on Facebook, we're glad to have you. But don't forget to come join us on LinkedIn, because that's where the action's happening. So we look forward to getting you back and joining us again. I'm here each Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern to talk about your opportunities for transition career success. And so I look forward to seeing you all again soon. I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Stay safe and be well.
Thank you.